Well, another aspect to that evolution to what you gentlemen were just saying is that certain apps that I once did not view as social media, I now do. So, for example, I'm a sports fan. I have a couple sports apps on my phone, and over the years that I've had these apps on my phone, it was always news related to sports, similar to what you would find if you clicked on the sports section of a big news channel like City Pulse or CP24, for example. However, now the current age of that, it seems that all the news stories that are coming up are social media related stories, like LeBron James posts this, or this athlete under fire for this. And it's like, when did my sports app become TMZ? So it's funny how the genres of all the different cycles and different tabs that you would once be separated on a even a newspaper, the sports section is here, the entertainment section is here. We are seeing that since the rise of technology, all of these different categories are kind of being blended into one. Whereas now on your sports app, I'm seeing things that I would have used to have found on entertainment side or on the TMZ side or on the news side. And with this, even like WhatsApp was a forum for people that didn't all have the same iPhone or Samsung to all create a group chat. Now it says owned by Facebook at the bottom. And now does that mean, whoa, if Facebook owns WhatsApp, if Facebook is part of these group chats and monitoring them, and now it's created something that I thought was a personal private chat is now technically part of someone else's domain. I feel like it's very interesting to know that something simple as your messaging app and where you would go to find your sports info has now been blended into a TMZ app or a news app or a social media app. I think it's interesting to notice that revolution.
Just to add on to that, if I can, like, yeah, when you include that social element in your apps or in your media content, when you have that social interaction, it draws people in. It's kind of a marketing technique, and you get that social that dopamine or whatever from the social interaction, from seeing a reaction, from generating outrage, from yelling at someone online. So when you add that so I see what you're saying. You add it into into the equation of what draws people to your site, and you get more hits, you get more activity, and you get more engagement.
Michael, you made me think of something when you're talking about your private groups on your WhatsApp, and that being a private conversation is what you thought. And this just kind of reminded me of what happened when I was searching for some printers and doing research on them. And now I found out that one of the printers, the app that they have, your information that you send to your printer is no longer a safe thing. It gets sent to a domain in China, and they have access to all the things you're printing on your printer. Just maybe think of it when you said about the WhatsApp group being taken over by Facebook.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I know some people who have tried to actively decide to avoid social media. And I think some of you can relate to the sentiment, right? You recognize that it can be harmful or concerning, and so you've made the deliberate choice to stay away from it. But over the years, social media has found its way into all aspects of what we do. Like, as you were saying, buying a printer, you can't do that anymore, And as Michael was saying, just looking at the sporting news, it's all has social media elements in it now. So I feel like it's almost inevitable at some point that we'll all have to get involved in social media in one way or another. It's not going to be possible to avoid anymore, right? And so that's why it's so important to educate ourselves, and as future teachers, educate our students on social media. So that way we know they're going to be using it. We got to make sure that they use it in healthy ways.